All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to another great video. This is one I have definitely been looking forward to playing. I'm going to be discussing Forza Horizon 5, another flagship mega bestseller coming right out of Microsoft Studios. And I have to tell you, the Forza Horizon series is very special to me. I distinctly remember when it came out in 2011. It was a big deal, because Forza Motorsport was already becoming one of the biggest racing franchises out there, direct competitor to Gran Turismo, and coming out with an open-world concept free-roam racing game was definitely different, something not even Gran Turismo managed to do successfully. So Forza Horizon was such a great game. It managed to do something to this day I never have seen from any other racing series ever. It managed to nail the thrill of a race, whereas Motorsport is more about mastering your car, and I do love the Motorsport series a lot, and more about mastering your track, going over the track over and over and over until you know it so well, just like a real race car driver. The Forza Horizon series, it's not easy. I wouldn't call it a baby game, it's just different, that's all. It does the same thing in terms of skill, but different. Nailing the thrill of racing down the streets of wherever, and just being able to go across locations around the world. The first game, we got to race around in the mountains of Colorado. The second game, I got to race in bits of Italy and France, kind of the European region. Third game, we got to go to Australia, which was probably my favorite map. Number 4, we got to race around in the UK. And just to tell you how good the map was, I remember watching the Fast Saga last year, the Furious 9 movie, and there was a racing scene where Toretto is chasing the Vin Diesel, I'm so sorry. The Toretto character was chasing his brother, played by John Cena, going down the streets of Edinburgh. And I remember thinking, hey, Toretto, turn to the left. You can cut him off right up to the right, because I felt like I knew those streets so well. That's how good these maps are. They're so realistic. Very reminiscent of what Test Drive Unlimited tried to do almost 20 years ago. Anyway, Horizon 5, big deal. I was delighted that it was coming out, because after 4, we weren't really sure if they were going to continue that series. And of course, the new slogan for Horizon 5 is "Where the festival never ends." Love it. This was supposed to be the first 4K 120 frames per second game to come out for the Series X, which is a bit redundant because not many people can use that yet, but hey, it's nice to brag about. Now we get to race around in Mexico, which is a great idea, because so far after playing it, I can say this is probably the best map they've come up with. You can just look around and it's so expansive, and fewer things beat the thrill of racing around the sand dunes of Baja. Love it. Love all the little rally racing history things they put into it. So you get the idea. The game looks fantastic for one, as I expect. This is a signature of Forza. Forza is well known for looking really good. And Horizon 5 looks absolutely fantastic, so they nailed it from that perspective. Number 2, we got to talk about the cars, because Gran Turismo 7 is coming up, and there's a lot of people already comparing Horizon 5 to Gran Turismo 7. It's not a fair comparison. They're two different games. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. But one of the benefits of playing Horizon 5 is you do get to play all of the latest and best cars, like playing the brand new Corvette Stingray C8 generation, which even though it looks kind of like a hodgepodge, it's an absolute blast to play. That's just one of the many things you get to do. And again, the cars are fantastic. They look so good. They sound amazing. Just designing and developing and nailing the realism of the cars, I think Microsoft Studios has absolutely outdone themselves here. But let's talk about the racing. Is the racing as good? The racing is absolutely fantastic, because it's nothing like the other Horizon games. Let me explain. This game actually feels as if Microsoft attempted to put the DNA of their Forza Motorsport games and basically splice it and insert it into the Horizon game. That's precisely what it felt like. Whereas in the past, I could kind of get away with... I hate to say this, but I could kind of get away with stupid driving in the past. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes I could make really dumb moves, or I could just flat out cheat my way to the finish line. Not that I ever did, often. But nevertheless, you could do it. Well, here in Horizon 5, that's been absolutely eliminated. especially with the way they've developed the courses and especially with the weather detail, whether you're racing around on rain and slippery slopes or racing around in sandstorms now, which is awesome. They have completely eliminated your ability to cheat, and if you're a dumb driver, you're not going to win many races in this game. This is a game that has tested me in a way I don't remember being challenged like this actually in a while, and this is coming from someone who pretty much nailed Horizon 4. I actually beat a couple of pro races there. I mean, I was doing great. I thought I'd be unbeatable here. And I found myself challenged, especially in some of the championship races. This is the toughest racing I've ever seen. And I just want to say, if you're somebody that enjoys playing online, I get it. It's easy to predict the computer and the AI, and once you kind of figure out the algorithms movements, you can almost predict it, and it takes all the fun out of it. You won't have that with Horizon 5, and we're not going to talk about why because it's a little overly complicated. But let's just say Horizon 5, when you're playing just against the computer, you will be challenged, I think, in a way no other game up to date has done. It's genuinely difficult and truly does feel as if I was truly in a racing simulation, as if I am racing against great racers. So Horizon, Microsoft Studios has done so well from that perspective. Graphically, it is done so well, just nailing the beauty of the Mexican landscape and these little Mexican towns. It is utterly, almost absurdly difficult to play, and I love it for that reason, absolutely. The cars are amazing. They're always releasing more cars, especially if you have the car pass. You get all the latest car packs, and being able to drive the latest cars in Mexico is absolutely fantastic and a total blast. And I guess the only other thing I have to say about it is that there's so many little details that really make this game stand out, whether it's just the way, for example, I was looking at the Ferrari 488 Pista. It's a beautiful car to look at. Ferrari nailed it. But in the game, they made it look so good in exactly the way it was designed. It doesn't look like a simulation. The lines look perfect. The sheen on the paint looks great. Even racing across the sands, the way they glisten, it all looks so good. And you can tell they put a lot of work into this. So, in short, I have to say, and this is not something I say very often, as I was absolutely prepared to rip this game apart in any way, shape, or form. We all know that when games go out for this long, sometimes the developers get a little bit lazy and don't do as good of a job, but that is not the case here. I'm delighted to say it is a 10 out of 10 game. There is nothing wrong with it, nothing they really could have done to improve it, and yet they will be with more free updates, giving us more free stuff coming out, not to mention the expansion packs, which I'll discuss when it comes out. They've done a great job. This is an amazing game. It is fun. It is absolutely absurdly challenging, and for those reasons, I love it, and I give it my highest stamp of approval.